Alright guys, so today in this video we're going to be looking at combining items in your inventory, so that if you have, say, two items in your inventory and you want to drag one across the other one, you can combine them that way to make a different item. This is very useful for if you're gonna make puzzle item puzzles. Yeah, so I have a quick little demonstration here, basically where you pick up two bottles, combine them, and I'm also going to show you how you can use the new combined item in scripting. So I'm going to put it on the table there. It's nothing advanced or anything. This is actually very easy, but it could be a little tricky to find out if you don't know about it. And there's quite a couple of files involved in doing this. There is an inventory HPS file, the level script file, and the extra English lang file if you want to give it a custom name. So now I'm just going to pick up these two bottles. They are two different bottles, so you can combine them by dragging one over the other one. It doesn't really matter which way, like this, and it'll give you the sanity effect. It'll play a sound effect. You can choose whatever sound effect you want. I use the make drill sound effect, but and you will get a new item. So this one is now called mixed bottles, mixed two other bottle contents, and it looks a little different. So now you can also use this on whatever you want to use in the level, and you can just place it there. So that is not a very advanced script of placing it. It should be more detailed in an actual story, but that's just how it works. You can add more details to it if you wish. So yeah, that's basically all in this map. There's nothing more to do in here. So now I'm guessing we're just gonna go over and see how it is done. Alright, so before we start, I just want to mention that if you are using a Windows computer, you can still use this tutorial because it is done the exact same way. And also, if you're missing any of the files that I have right here, at least the essential ones, you can download them in my description to make things a little easier. So yeah, I'm now located in my custom story folder, so you should be able to navigate to your Amnesia folder / custom stories, and then have your folder for your custom story. If you have a mod, then I guess you could go to that if you know how that works. But anyways, this is for custom stories, but it's kind of the same thing. But anyways, so basically what you need to do here is to go into the maps folder. And here I have the map file itself that I used in the example, and here I have the script file for the map. I also have another file in here that we're going to use, which is this one, the inventory.hps. And this is the one that basically calculates all the combinations. So you're going to need this file, and if you don't have this file, I can show you where you can get that. So first of all, actually I'm just going to delete it and make it a new. So let me just delete the script file too, so I can script that over again. And that, I don't like the cache files, they're annoying. Anyways, alright, so if you go back to your, this is the root folder for Amnesia. If you go to the maps folder, the original one, maps here, main, you will find inventory HPS right here. So you can choose to either copy that one and paste it into your maps folder, or you could just make it. So I'm gonna make it though, so let's go back to your custom story, and I'm just gonna open up my text editor. Let's just open up text edit to make things simple, because all Macs should have text edit. So I'm just gonna make a new document, and first of all, if you're using text edit, you want to go on format, make plain text, and this is very important. So now you want to just save the file. You don't really need to do anything, you just save it and just choose a location. I'm just going to save it on the desktop for now, and you want to name it inventory.hps, and make sure that the extension is .hps. If this is like, make sure it's not hps.text. If you're using a Windows computer, you can use Notepad to do this, but make sure that you save it as all files, so it's not saved as a text file. So when you save this, it will come up with a prompt basically asking if you want to use HPS instead of text. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm just going to close it. And now we have our HPS text file right here. So this file, you want to place it inside the maps folder of your custom story. So I'm just going to put it right in there. And now we have it here somewhere. Where did it go? There it is. Oh, okay. So I'm just going to give it a tag so it's easier to see. So there's the inventory HPS file. I'm going to be using a different text editor for the actual scripting. It's the one that I started using recently, which is Sublime Text 2. I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. So it basically looks like this. Alright, so before we do anything in this file though, I'm just going to duplicate this inventory HPS file and rename it to combo.hps, which will be the script file for the map. So I'm going to remove the tag from that one. So we have the map file and the script file, and so I'm just going to open that and it'll open in this one. I'm just going to put it as a tab in the other one. So we'll have both of them right here. And we're going to do some more scripting in that a little later. But now, let's open up the level editor, so just so we can take a look at the map. Combo.map. This is the only map that is relevant to this video. So here we have what I had in the example. So we have the spawn point, we have the bottles, and we have an inactive bottle that is being activated when you use it, and we have the area that you use it on. So I'm going to just delete all of these things. I'm going to delete that, and that. So now it's basically just an empty map. It has nothing special in it. First of all, let's go to the item or entity item section. So we want to scroll down to item right here and just find whatever item you wish to use. I'm going to be using the bottles, the glass container filled. This is going to be the first item, so I'm just going to place it there, and the other one is going to be the mix not done. Some of these have underscore static, and the underscore static basically means that you cannot pick it up. It'll just be the static one is basically what we're going to be using on the table, because you cannot pick it up and it's just there. It just looks like it's there. If you get what I'm saying, it's kind of hard to explain, I guess, but I'm just going to create on surface and place it on table. So after that, I'm going to select the one on the table and I am going to give it a name. I'm going to call it bottle done. And if it looks a little weird, that's because, yeah, bottle done. And I'm going to make it inactive, so that it is not there to begin with. And then I'm going to select this one. I'm going to call it bottle A. And I'm going to call this one bottle B. So that is going to be item 1 and item 2. So you're going to need, of course, 2, or you could use 3 items if you want to use, like, for example, the drill. You have 3 items to combine. It'll be a little more tricky. Well, actually not. It'll just require a little more. It'll require 3 checks, basically using A on B, B on C, or C on A, if you get that. Anyways, so we have that, bottle A, bottle B, and the bottle done. And then we're just going to lastly place the area that we're going to use the item on. So usually it's pretty cool to use areas when you're going to use items in your levels, because you can use areas on anything. You can't necessarily use items on all entities, but you can use it on areas, and areas can be placed anywhere and they're invisible, so I like to use areas. But be sure to go on the area tab and select item interaction, or else you won't be able to use the item on it. Also, let's give it a name. I'm going to call it area use item, and I'm going to save the map. And that should be everything that we need to do in this map. So now it's basically just what it was when I opened it. So I'm going to minimize that, and actually there's one more thing that I'm going to do in the level, but actually I changed my mind. I'm going to do that later. Alright, so let's start with making the combination. So you're going to have to open the inventory HPS file. I have it open right here. Now, let's open up the engine scripts file page actually too. And this has a list of all the functions that you can use in the game. And the one we're going to be using this time is on game start. This function is found in the global HPS file and the inventory HPS file. So basically it's used in the inventory HPS file It's not exactly used in a map file, it's used in this file. So you want to copy that or just write it in. So I'm just going to type void on game start parentheses brackets. So we have that, and this is basically going to be ran when the story is first launched, and it's just going to add the checks to begin with. So if you Command or Control F, just search up, let's see, combine, you will find add combine callback. So you can just copy this full line without the void part, and you want to paste it in on game start. And then you want to define the different parameters inside the parentheses. So the first one is string and as name. You can make this into double quotes, and you can keep this empty. You don't necessarily need to put a name in here, but if you want to remove this check later so that if you do something you'll not be able to use this combination, then you can remove it. You will need to give it a name. But so I'm just gonna give it a name. It doesn't really matter. Call it bottle whatsoever, like bottle, if you wish. The more important part is this one. So this is string as item A. So this is going to be the first item that you're going to use. So in my case, bottle A. It needs to match the name of the item in your level. Bottle A. The other one is the item B, which is the same except it's the other item, so bottle B. And there we go. So as long as those two match the name of the items in the level, you should be able to use them on each other. Now this one is string as function, and this could be whatever you want. This is going to be the name of the code block that is ran when this check is fulfilled. So when the check is or the little combination is actually done, it's going to run this block of code. So you're going to put the name of the block of code in here. So I'm going to call it combine bottles. And the last one, you can put it to true if and that will mean that once you have done this, you will not be able to do it again. But if you put it to false, you'll be able to do it again if you have the items with the same names in your inventory again. So it's not very much use, but I'm just going to put it to true. And now we're going to make that function combine bottles that we defined right here. So just type void combine bottles, and you want to put in the parameters that define the combination callback. So those are string and in, actually let's just copy them to make things a little easier. You can go just below the function on the script. It says callback syntax void myfunc, and then these parameters right here, string and in as item, string and in as entity. So you can just put that on right there. As long as they match, that should work. So there we go. So here we have the block that is going to be ran. What am I doing? So this block is going to be ran when these two are used on each other. It doesn't matter if you use A on B or B on A. It'll check both of them. So in here is what is actually going to be happening. So first of all, we want to remove item as item. Wait. Oh, this was it? Add combine callback. Add use item call. Oh yeah, these were the wrong parameters. Excuse me. Let's go back to combine. This is these are the parameters that you want to use. It is actually the exact same. It's just different aliases. So item A and item B. It doesn't actually matter, but yeah. Anyways, so this is going to be the alias for the first item, and this is going to be the alias for the second item. So if you put remove item as item A in here, that will basically remove item A that is used in this callback. So it'll remove bottle A from your inventory. And if you also do the same thing, remove item as item B, that will remove the second item. If you want to look up the function I'm using right here, you can just search up remove item on the page, and it says remove item, string, and name. So basically, instead of putting as item A, you could put double quotes and the name of the bottle if you want to use that. That is a little simpler. I like to use this method because it's a more advanced, compact way of doing it. But if you think this is a bit confusing, you can just put in the string instead. It doesn't really make much difference in this case. So other than that, we also want to give player sanity, I suppose. Player sanity, I believe that was it. Give player damage, give sanity boost, that's one. Give sanity boost. So I'm gonna put that in there. Give sanity boost. It has no parameters, just put it right there. And we want to play GUI sound, or GUI sound. Some people say GUI, I say GUI. Short for graphical user interface. Anyways, you can search up that one, play GUI sound, and it plays a sound effect not using 3D. So you can define whatever sound effect you want in the first parameter. So in these strings right there, you want to put the name of the sound file, and in the other one you want to put the volume. So I'm going to put the volume to just 1, so it'll be default volume. And in the string we want to put the sound file. So let's go find a suitable file that we can use for this. So I'm going to go back all the way to the root folder, and let's jump into sounds, and let's see.
Puzzle. Hello. Actually, the one I was looking for is not here. Could it be gameplay? No, I'm not exactly sure what it is. I don't think it's back there. Don't be actual there. Later. I don't think it's there. These are questions. Okay, so, I have it. I'll use one of these folders. Which system that should be around here. Nope. It's such a trash. Anyway, yes, system that. This is the sound file. Okay, 12 and 20 drill. Right. There's a copy of that. Okay. Actually, 12 folder should be here. Drill.
Make drill. So just select this is the one I'm going to be using. You can just find whatever you want to use, actually. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to be OGG format with an SNT file. Actually, I think you're able to run the OGG directly, even though it says extension is SNT. I don't quite remember, but put in the name here. 12 make drill. If you don't put an extension, it'll put .snt for you. So that'll play the sound effect for making the drill, but it is a pretty cool sound effect for combining items. Now, lastly, what was last? Of course, you gotta give the item. So give item, search that up, and these are the parameters. So I'm just gonna copy that function and put it in right here. So this will give the player an item. It actually has a description under here. Adds an item to the inventory of the player. Note that the item does not have to exist as an entity in the world to be able to use this or do this. So this will just generate an item and place it in your inventory right away. So first of all, this is the name of the item. So this is kind of important if you want to use it for scripting. You're gonna want to put a name in here, and this is basically what you're doing now is defining these things in here. So the name, the first parameter, is basically what is in this slot if this item actually existed in the level, which it doesn't, but you're making it through script, so you're just generating it with, and you'll be needing these parameters. So first of all, you're gonna need the name. This one is called bottle A, so just like that, you want to give this a name. So I'm gonna call it bottle done. Actually, let's call this one on the table bottle done static, and that'll just separate them, not being the same entity. And the string as type, this, I don't think this is actually defined on the entity itself, but it's defined in the model or the entity in the model editor. So basically this will define what kind of item it is. So if you put like key, it'll be a key item. If you put health potion, or I think it's potion health, it'll be a laudanum, basically just like that. But if you want to make it just a generic item that has no special properties like that, just use puzzle in there, and that'll make it a puzzle item. And subtype name, this is, if you look in here, custom sub item type name. Whatever you put in here is going to be it's going to be the display name that it has to be in your lang file. So actually, I have not done this on these two items yet, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to call it bottle. Let's call it just bottle. Okay, let's call it bottle, and this one, let's call it bottle. And let's put in this one, I'm going to call it bottle done. This is not the same as the entity name. This is just the name of the lang entry that is going to display the name of it, like the visual name, not the internal name. So string as image name, this one is a little trickier. Well, not very tricky if you know what to do, but it could be a little hard to know. Anyways, basically this is the image file that is going to, this is how it looks in your inventory. So if you don't have this, I'm not sure if this will actually work. Just go back to your Amnesia root folder and navigate to graphics. Here it is, and there's an item folder right here, and it has the icon files for all the items in the game, as you can see. So it has all these things. The one I want to be using is the glass container mix done.tga. It is TGA format, most of these files. So just put that. I can actually just copy it directly from here. String as image file, glass container mix done.tga. So you want to put the name of the TGA file. You can put a custom TGA file if you make a custom TGA file, but making custom TGA files is actually kind of tricky when it comes to this game. It's strange. And this is the amount of how many of this copy of the item you're getting. So we're just going to put it to 1. It's like, for example, if you have several oil or several tinner boxes, but when it comes to puzzle items, you really only have 1. And that is everything we need to do in the inventory HPS file. So I'm going to save this file, and that'll allow us to combine these two items in the game, as long as you save it, of course. Now let's go back to the script file for the actual level, and this is just if you want to use this item on the table or whatever. So first of all, we want to type void on start. This is a very basic one that you probably already have in your file. Void on start is ran when the map is loaded, so we want to put the add use item callback. I believe I looked at this earlier. So add use item callback, I'm going to copy this one and paste it into on start. And this is going to enable you to use the item that you now have combined into your inventory to be able to use this thing on the table, or the area actually, but it's going to look like it is a table, or anywhere else, whatever you want. So string as name, this is the internal name of the event, so you can just keep it empty, it doesn't really matter. And well, it does matter if you want to remove the callback, as I said earlier, but well, in my case I rarely do that. Okay, so the string as item, this needs to be the same internal name as what was in the first parameter of give item, so you want to put that in there, bottle done, so that'll define which item you're going to be using. This string as entity is going to be which entity you're going to be using it on, so you want to put this as the same name as the area you put in your level. Area use item, I named it. String as function, just like in the combine callback, this is the function of the block that's going to be executed when this happens. So I'm going to call it use item on table. And the last one is the same, like true or false, whether you can only do it once or several times. So I'm going to put it to true, and then I'm going to make the block use item on table. This one has the parameters listed right here. You can copy them if you like, or you could type them in if you remember them. But alright, so now we are so far again. It looks very similar to the inventory HPS file, but the inventory is always loaded on your inventory the script file, this one, is only loaded in this map, so it's map specific. Anyways, in here, this is where you want to put the effect of whatever happens. So basically I'm just going to make it really simple by removing actually remove item. I just typed what I said. Remove item as item. If you put that, it'll remove the item you're currently using, which will be the bottle done. So it'll remove that. Or you could put bottle done in a string in there instead if you wish to do that. That'll remove the item from your inventory. And then I'm gonna set entity active. And basically that will enable the inactive entity we have on the table already. And this one is called bottle done static. So you want to put that name in there. Bottle done static. And the next parameter is true or false, whether it's on or off, active or not. And you want to put it to true, or else it won't really do anything. So this will enable this inactive entity. So that is everything. Mostly what you want to do here in addition is probably like a sound effect, maybe waiting a second until it happens, maybe making you look at it, stuff like that, but that's up to you. So I'm going to save this file now. And yeah, so lastly, the last file that I'm going to be using, let's actually close the trash. Let's go back to our custom story folder, and the extra english.lang. If you don't have it, you can download it, as I said, but actually let's open it in Sublime. We'll just move it as a tab over there. So this is the file that contains all the text in the game, or in this custom story. So basically this is where you define the text entry that is going to show up on these. And yeah, so for example, on these items you pick up on the floor, the bottom here it says bottle. I typed that in, and in the script in the inventory HBS on the give item, the name is bottle done. It's not the first one, it's the third one, but they are the same. So bottle done, bottle and bottle done. So you're gonna need to define what those mean. So you're gonna have to go to the item description. This is in an inventory category. If you don't know how to read this file, you can look at some of my other videos. I have a few on them, but maybe I'll make a video specifically for understanding this file. But basically what you need is category name equals inventory, and then you can put the entries in here. You need a slash inventory at the end, or else if you're missing a slash inventory anywhere in this file, the whole file will disable. It won't be loaded correctly. It will just not work. So be sure to, like, if it's not working, be sure to check for any errors. Anyways, in here, what you want to do, I'm just going to delete these as I already have them, but you're going to have the entry name equals item name underscore key description. This is for the key tutorial that I made, and I have a more in-depth tutorial on how to make this entry in there. But anyways, I'm just going to copy it from there, and what I'm going to change is, instead of saying item name underscore key desk, I'm going to change item name underscore bottle and item desk underscore bottle. And this will as long as whatever it says here at the last part of the underscore is going to determine what this is. So actually, if you hover over here, it says determines its name and description by putting item desk underscore or item name underscore as prefix for the lang file entry. So as long as this is in front of it, it's going to recognize this name, and the thing that is between these two tags, the slash tag and the opening tag, is going to be the text that appears. So I'm going to put it in bottle, and the description might as well just be bottle la 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 la. And that is going to be the description of both of these because they have the same. And then there's the bottle done. So I'm just going to copy that, paste it in there, and bottle done, which is the one we generated in the script. I'm going to call it bottle mixed. Actually, that would be a little strange. I'm thinking script here. Mixed bottle and bottle la 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 mix. And then I'm gonna save this file, and let's run up the Amnesia game again. And I think that was actually everything we need to do. So to recap, you need the inventory HPS file, which is where you put the combination script. You need the level script if you want to use the combined item for a script in the level, and you want to use the lang file for the text that appears on the item itself. And right now the sanity effect did not appear, but that is not because anything went wrong. It's just because as long as you are on full sanity, it doesn't really work. That's just part of the game. If you have 100% of sanity, you can't really gain anymore, and therefore it doesn't appear at all. Anyways, if you don't have, which it normally wouldn't be, it will appear. So mixed bottle, la la la, you can just use that on the table, and there it is. So this is just how it was in the example, and yeah, that should be everything for this video, and I hope you found it helpful in any way, shape or form. If you liked it, I would really appreciate if you would like the video. It motivates me to make more of these tutorials. And if you have any suggestions as to what I should make next, feel free to post any comments. Need any help, I'll reply with anything that I can. And yeah, other than that, I will thank you for watching, and I will see you later. Peace.